to you from the garage today because all the conference rooms in the house were already reserved. Maybe you can identify. Who knows, maybe you're in your garage too. Anyway, today I'd like to read to you an essay I wrote a couple of months ago called Trash Talking. And I will warn you, it also includes a short poem. Garbage Day intrigues me because it's that one day each week where we all try to see how much we can get away with. We all probably know our local garbage rules, for the most part, but walk around your neighborhood early on Garbage Day and you'll see folks stretching the limits of what is acceptable. Sometimes it's just little things, other times, come on, really? It's like gambling, using your junk as chips, but instead of wanting more of what you're putting out on the table, you hope to lose everything. Also, much like gambling, if you win today, it gives you the confidence to bet more next time. And I think we all know how that usually plays out. Sometimes our bets are small, like that old rusty bike that's been sitting in the garage for 10 years. Other times, it's a larger item, like a mattress, full of stains and bed bugs. Or that leather recliner that went from the family room when you bought it in 2005 to the basement 6 years ago when you got the new sectional. And now you're hoping and praying for the garbage gods to smile down on you, getting you a big win so you don't have to figure out how to dispose of it on your own. I've also seen washers and dryers, a good double-down bet, copious amounts of insulation. I'm not sure if there's any decent way to get rid of that stuff. Tires, file cabinets, gutters and eaves, or at least portions of them, wooden doors, and many, many other things that may or may not fall within the bounds of what is acceptable garbage by the standards set forth in some dark, smoky room somewhere far away in a place where only a few people really know what's going on. Sometimes there's so much stuff in front of a house it looks like they're playing Texas Trash Can Hold'em. Let me give you an example. The homeowner is carefully examining his pile of chips, which includes a standard definition TV, 14 random scraps of lumber of various lengths, a broken down lawnmower, an old Mr. Coffee, a bar stool, and 3 couch cushions. No couch, just the cushions. Okay, I'm all in, he says with trepidation as he walks each item to the curb, hoping and praying when he returns from work he'll see his lawn free and clear of all of it. Yet, he knows it's a huge gamble. He hopes he has a winning hand because his family is depending on him. They need this win. But like any of us who have played this game, and we all have, he just doesn't know. He can't know. He's made a good bet till that last card is flipped. And that's why they call it gambling, folks. I've done it too. Thrown something out there, hoping it'll go, but always entering such an endeavor with low expectations, like the non-gambler who finds himself in Vegas on a work trip and blows a quick 20 on blackjack just to say he did it, then walks away a little lighter in the wallet but suffering no real pain and anguish because he never expected to win anyway. In other words, I was okay when that undefined 8-foot steel pole that had been residing in the rafters of our garage remained in the yard after the garbage truck made its weekly pass because they did take the 8 pieces of old siding scraps. Then, everything changed. Recently, we received new trash bins officially sanctioned by the local government entity in cooperation with our village waste collection vendor. Now the rule, I think, is that if it doesn't fit in the big green bin, it ain't going nowhere. Now, please don't quote me on that rule because just like all other garbage and recycling collection and remediation rules passed down since I don't know when, it's all kind of fuzzy to me. Nonetheless, since we got the new bins, I see most of my neighbors and others abiding by this rule, and now it's interesting to see how people stretch that by jamming stuff into their big green bins that shouldn't or doesn't fit in it. I see stuff sticking out of the top of the receptacle, sometimes way out. I've also seen junk placed on top of the enclosed lid, and the occasional item leaning against the bin as if to say, it's okay, I'm with her. All this talk of trash came into my head after I saw something while walking the dog the other day. And when I saw it, well, them actually, sitting in proximity to the homeowner's large green garbage bin, my mind immediately crafted a verse about it. And so, without further ado, here it is. It's called Two Thrones. They sit quietly, majestically, 2 alabaster heroes, icons against a backdrop of freshly fallen snow, white on white. It is therapeutic, compelling the eye and the mind to create color on its own, a blank canvas waiting for a masterpiece. The low early morning light embosses them against the crisp, clean overnight snow. A seal, an imprint of something intentional and important. 2 thrones, sitting in public, but not public toilets. Retired after a long, fulfilling life serving others, waiting to go to their final resting place. The next morning, as I drove past that house, the toilets were gone. But where they went and how they got there remained a mystery because I still don't know all the rules about garbage pickup in my community. I hope for their sake, and their former owners as well, they ended up in a good place, and that my neighbor didn't need to hump them into his car and take them away himself. Just as I hope that the next time I roll the proverbial garbage dice, luck will go with me.